Okay. The frog. You have the frog's attention. It is a frog.
Yes. Uh, can you tell me anything about this room?
Um, you don't get much. You weren't expecting too much from this. You weren't expecting an elaborate, like, paragraph or anything.
Yeah, no.
But you do manage to get an answer from the frog in the simple form of uh, puzzle.
Okay.
The child's gonna splash in the water a bit with her hands.
I thank the frog.
Frog will kind of turn towards Crate Phantom as he begins to wander over, looking at what you're doing. Crate Phantom's gonna stop right there to avoid making the frog jump away from you.
So this room is a puzzle.
Oh, where is it?
I can only guess it's about those shields.
At the mention of shields, he'll scamper back over and begin to try and move one. He seems to be not having any luck trying to pull this shield. You actively believe it's because it's too heavy for him, but you're not sure.
Well, I'll approach and try myself.
Okay, just roll a strength check real quick, as you're not sure how heavy these things are.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, that's an 8. 9 minus 1.
Okay, you do actively able. You cannot lift it up, but you do notice this thing slides along the floor,
Awesome.
and both of you all have him behind you, but you move it one square. As you feel the floor shift, you feel the floor vibrate like something is moving. As collectively, the water begins to drain from the room and disappears through cracks in the floor.
Oh no. I just ruined the frog's habitat.
The frogs will jump about to the closest little algae patch as you now reveal a 4x4 tile grid on the floor.
Huh.
And an inscription written across the floor in dwarven runes. The child will try and chase around a frog. She eagerly just kind of scampers onto the tile with no immediate effect.
Okay.
I can't read dwarven.
Yeah, I can't necessarily either.
You've been studying because of Kyrie, but you're not the
Right, but
bestest.
it's not too much. I can give it a shot,
Uh,
but these may be older than I've studied.
you can try a perception or an investigation.
Let's see here. It would be best of me to do perception.
Okay.
God, I'm rolling crap. 5, 6, 7.
7 is actually good enough.
Really
You,
impressive.
um,
I've been
you are,
studying hard.
yes, you are able to gleam off that this is a puzzle, and the inscription is not so much in words as pictures, which basically tells you that you need to put these 6 shields on the tiles in a manner in which each column and each row has an even, not an odd, an even number of open spaces. At the vague mention of your translation, the Crate Phantom chimes up that he's heard a puzzle similar to this, and he further explains it a little more clearly, or at least what he thinks it wants.
Okay.
And
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm kind of doodling things out real quick.
Crate Phantom
As
says
a
he doesn't remember the
solution.
solution, but it took him ages to get it done.
So placing 6 items so that everything has the same amount of open spaces.
He corrects you an even number of open spaces, not an odd. Not equal, an even number. Like 2, 4, 6, 0.
Gotcha.
He'll ask you if you gotten a look around the dungeon yet. He suggests he might be able to stay here and attempt to work on this if you want to scour for something. We still need to figure out something about the trees, he suggests.
Yes, I wish I wasn't doing this in pen. Let's see. I thoroughly enjoy puzzles. Oh, well, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Okay. I figured it out.
The Great Phantom looks to you like, really?
Yep. Really. I place a shield here.
Okay. It moves into position. Or you move it into position on the square.
Yeah. I place a shield on this square.
Alright. You slide a shield over here.
And then one on each of these 4 center squares. And now every row, column.
Great Phantom looks at you. No. He runs down the side. 1, 2, 3, he hops.
Oh, okay.
Close, he says.
And it says row and column, right?
Correct, he clarifies. Points down, these 2 are fine. He hops back into succession like hopscotch. But the 3, no, odd number.
Yep, you're right. I botched that. So let's see if I move this one over.
Here, let me make them drawing so they can be in the center.
Yeah. Could I have control over them too?
I believe so, yeah. Can you not move them? I believe you should be able
no,
to.
I was just asking.
Oh, yes, yes.
No, I can't.
You actively can't.
I'm not allowed.
What?
It has to be, if they're token, I can move them.
It's just a token, it's not a character.
Well, I can't move the kid either, so.
Oh, well, that's a...
This would be easier if I could piddle around with it myself, instead of pen and paper. Let's see. Oh,
No.
I'm an idiot. No, that won't work either. Let's see.
Great Phantom's gonna move 2 shields down. He's gonna ponder as well.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Child will have caught a frog.
Oh man, this should be I love puzzles. Why am I not getting this? This is a good puzzle.
I don't know why, but I think it's gonna open the big door, by the way. Just a thought.
That's probably something we don't want to do.
The Great Phantom will stop moving shields.
Because I'm not quite sure what's beyond that big door.
Well, if this is the thing, the other room was just like this. If it's the same puzzle, if as soon as I figure it out, I can do that one as well.
Okay. Still trying to figure out. Oh. No, that won't work either. Is this even possible? Should be.
The Great Phantom will assure you it is possible. He claims he used to do things like this as a bar game with coins and cards. Great Phantom will kind of stress again that he can run to the other room and check that if you want to just meet back here. Or he rounds through his pockets and pulls out a little runestone and runs it over to you. You notice this is a communication rune.
Mm-hmm.
He says, if you want to wander about and maybe try and find the trees things, if this isn't what it is or whatever, I can notify you if I get a solution or something. Or I don't know how long it'll take.
Wait a minute. So if these two are I'm sorry, you got me started on a puzzle. You should know me by now enough to not do that. This is why most of my video game experiences is when I played Professor Layton, I never put it down. And Phoenix Wright as well.
Child's gonna sit down and kind of splash in the little puddles of water.
Wait, what if I do that? And that? And we should have stopped the last campaign in this room, so I had a week or two to think about it.
No, that's cheating.
At the rate I'm going, it's gonna take another week. I'm gonna vacate the room. I don't want to give up, but this is gonna take me a while.
Great Phantom suggests that we can come back to it.
Let's come back to it.
Do you want me to stay and work on the puzzle? You seemed kind of eager to solve it yourself.
Yeah, why don't you come with me? It would be nice to have additional company.
Okay, he says very cheerfully.
So let's try and go through this archway-ish. Of course,
gonna get up and tag along.
Me as a player, it's eating at the back of my head that I'm leaving a puzzle undone.
If you don't get it solved now, you can solve it before the next session. If you wish.
I want to. I've got to find a solution.
You're met with another one of these golden rooms, which appears to be somewhat of a meeting room. An elongated table and many chairs.
All right.
12 chairs to be exact. One intact standing at the head of the table. The remaining are shattered and broken and strewn about. And there are plenty of doors to choose from, as well as an archway. And a scroll you can hardly see at the foot of the standing chair.
Investigate the scroll.
Loss is carved into the floor in that odd yet seemingly understandable language.
And I'm going to presume that if I look through the spyglass, I'm just going to see the chair is intact. Hello?
I can't say yay or nay.
Oh, I thought I lost the...
No, I'm still here.
I'm going to look through the spyglass.
Alright. Well, you do in fact see everything set upright, but you more importantly see people sitting in such chairs around this table. There are 12 figures seated around like a proper cordial meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They are all of different species and quite decorated. One of them you recognize as the dwarf you've seen about, sitting in the head chair right here.
Right.
The other ones, you've never seen them before, but you think from the cut of some of their jibs they look similar to the statues you saw out in the atrium.
That's what I figured. It's probably a meeting of the kings. Gosh, I wish I had sound with the spyglass, but...
They do appear to be having a meeting. They are talking about things. There's nothing on the table.
So it's just a verbal meeting.
It appears to be so. As you kind of study over everything to make sure you're not missing anything, you do notice a few of them start to appear to be arguing with each other. A heated conversation, if you would.
Right.
It will actively escalate to the point where a few of them kick back their chairs and are shouting over the table, pointing at each other. A few of the others are trying to retain them and appear to appease or calm them down. The dwarf here at the head of the table appears to be most distressed about everything.
I'm severely curious. Okay. So something's going wrong with the kings. They're arguing. All sorts of unpleasantness is going on.
Yes, at this point, it's like the last thing you see before a fist fight breaks out. They're just shouting at each other. A few of them are trying to, maintain or regain this serenity or whatever you would call it, but it's an argument match.
Yeah.
The dwarf now has his head in his hands, while everybody else is arguing and calming each other down or attempting to.
Okay. Well, that seems to be it for this. They're just going to keep fighting. Okay, so we've got more rooms available to us.
Yes.
Let me zoom
Great
out a bit.
Phantom will jump up on the table and announce something stupid that he is king of the table.
May your throne never falter.
He gives it a once-over. But it's broken!
Well. Nothing I can do about that.
You notice the child has not really budged or moved, but she is standing here staring at this point in the wall. There's no light fixture there. There's no, point of interest. There's the elaborate cuts into the wall, but she is fixated on this particular portion of the wall.
I walk over. What's up? What do you see?
She just points. She doesn't say a word.
I investigate the wall.
You do notice there is a very fine pinpoint hole, just about the level of your eye. Very hard to, easy to miss. Kind of hidden amongst a groove of one of the elaborate cuts.
I investigate it.
Small little, like, pencil-sized hole. It's dark, you can't see into it. But it seems to be aligned, almost smack dab, with the end chairs. Like where the middle of the table would be. Great Phantom will stand atop the altering and I am king of the table! Just being weird.
I wonder if that... It reminds me of a dart trap.
Roll perception.
Can I try again? That was a natural 1.
No, with a natural 1 you will face the consequences.
Oh, no.
Without any prior warning, Elric, you are engulfed in flames. As the pinhole bellows forth quite a gout of fire. I will only be as undefined damage. But regardless.
And I'm sure...
That is only 5 damage.
Okay.
But you are also obviously on fire.
Yeah.
And you will take 5 points of fire damage now. Of course, you are on fire. The jettison of fire dissipates. The surrounding tables and chairs begin to set ablaze. Great Phantom will do his best to run over. Or, well, he'll take an action to fall off the table, not being set on fire. The child is unharmed.
Well, I'm glad the child is unharmed.
He hardly seems to be phased.
Leading me to believe that it is, again, a demon child.
Well, Ulrich, you can try and save to put yourself out first.
I'm going to try and save to put myself out first. With a natural 20.
Yes, you put yourself out.
Why couldn't I have gotten that with the investigation?
With that, you put yourself out and collectively can put out the chair you're standing on as well.
I am exceptionally irritated at myself.
Great Phantom will run over and wonder what the heck just happened as you just exploded into fire.
Is my pet okay?
The pet... Your cloak caught on fire, but the pet was not burned before you got a chance to put it out with that nat 20.
Good.
But, yes, the pet reacted and I would say writhed a bit as you engulfed for like a few seconds.
He was uncomfortable.
Yes.
It got uncomfortably warm.
Great Phantom's like, what just happened? What was that? The child just points at the pinhole in the wall.
This particular hole in the wall is a trap. I tried to investigate the trap, and it triggered.
Why would you put a trap in a meeting room?
That's a good question. Unless
Great Fan is gonna stay like out of direct line of sight, but he's gonna try and look at it.
unless the point of this meeting room wasn't a meeting room, and the person at the far end of the table would be safe from this trap. It could be to eliminate whoever you are meeting with.
Great Fan just looks at you like, sure. Elric, you begin to hear the faint muffle of a voice coming from the archway.
I cautiously investigate.
How so?
Like around the corner.
You actively do hear some sort of voice echoing from down the hallway.
Is it a recognizable voice?
You do not recognize it. It's just soft enough that you can't quite make out exactly what it's saying, but you can tell it's someone speaking. You can do enough just to peer around to notice that this leads down to a hallway, to an open archway and a door.
Then let's head down.
The voice gets actively a little bit louder as you seem to be closing in, but as you get like right about there to the archway, it stops. Like as if, it has hushed itself, like it knows someone's eavesdropping.
I peer around the corner.
You peer around the corner, you see another one of these square rooms. From your vantage point right there, you see a flight of steps that seem to be cut out of the same golden metal that kind of lead up to the wall. There's quite a display of a mosaic, almost hieroglyphics on the wall here, and quite a scroll on the floor. And something glowing from this direction.
Let's enter.
Stand in the archway real quick.
Archway.
Um, you immediately gauge the rest of the room. There's a few more doors set. There is a large, another one of the blue pylons floating about the middle of the room, with these green orbs just lying on the floor in a circular fashion around it. Another scroll and a few more of the guards. There's nothing else on the walls except for this interesting looking shaped mosaic, which is mostly shapes. It does not immediately appear to be a picture of any kind. But more importantly, you are met with a voice, which you are not sure if it's like right next to your head or in your head, but it's loud and clear to you. Oh hey, yeah, come on in, please, hurry up.
I enter? What does the voice sound like?
Exactly like what I've just spoken. It just sounds like a common voice. It does not have an echo or any real age to it. There's no. It's. I would say you would gauge it's ambiguous. It does not directly appear to be masculine or feminine.
Does
But
it sound malicious or?
it sounds semi-cheerful, but it's not immediately clear.
Okay, we enter?
Honestly, yeah, glad you could make it. You actually got here a few minutes earlier than I expected to, so that's good. But please, come on in. We don't have all millennia, and you certainly don't have all day, so please, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, what exactly is this place?
This place is a, well, homestead of the king.
Gotcha. The king, let's see, what was the name on the, it was, Mazis, right?
Oh, yeah, that would be him. Sure, yeah.
Okay. What's the history of this place?
Well, it's not very fun, as you probably can tell, your little camera there. Uh, well, what part of history do you want?
What,
The child is going to interrupt you and tug on your cloak to get your attention.
yes?
She's going to point to the mosaics on the wall.
I look at the mosaic.
They appear to be shifting, changing shapes and altering between squares and circles and triangles.
Oh, that's nifty. Um, what was the overall goal of this king?
Well, you see, this king was actually quite a tinkerer. He was the royal tinkerer of the 12 kings, and, well, he decided that the betterment of all of his kind were to be everyone in the king and the kingdom to, progress and all that. Well, Mazes was, we'll say he's a bit touched at times, as most great people. But the problem is the gifts that we gave them, they didn't go over too well.
I see.
The child is actively trying to show you this dazzling display of the mosaics. You do notice it only moves when you hear the voice.
Okay.
Great Phantom is investigating these suits of armor.
So that
I mean, I talk to myself all the time, but are you talking to us? Great Phantom will kind of say to you.
no, there is a voice in my head that is coming actually from this
Okay.
mosaic.
He just kind of cuts you off like that's normal. And just
It is.
kind of goes back to investigating.
Uh, so what caused the downfall of this king?
Well, honestly, that was his own fault. He didn't understand our gifts a little bit and tried to, well, figure them out in whatever way he could, and he didn't.
I see. What were these gifts you were talking about?
Oh yeah, the stones. You've seen it before. Like third, fourth room, I think. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. The little stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we decided to gift every king a one of these stones for them to do with as they please, and Mazes thought he could figure it out, but well, he kind of did, but well, kind of also doomed and trapped himself, and all of eternity without a soul.
Hmm. He overdid it.
Well, kind of underdid it, but I guess you humanoid things don't really like not having a soul or a body or whatever.
Yeah, we're kind of attached to these. I pat my shoulder.
You see.
Let's see. If I may ask, what, or who are you?
Oh, come on. Well, the more important thing is you really don't need my name right now because there's only a few more moments I'll actively be able to talk to you before, well, that summoning circle there over behind you in the middle gets interrupted, and I'm not able to speak to you anymore, and I would advise you to call back the child.
Oh, can you
You
come
look
back this
over and
way?
you notice she's actively staring at these orbs.
It's like, oh, hey, can you leave those alone, please?
She looks at you and gives it like a double take back at the stones and kind of walks back over.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's gonna happen regardless. It's either gonna be that, or about two other things that's probably gonna burst through the doors in a matter of moments. So it really depends.
Understood. Um, so I guess the last question I'm going to be able to ask is what exactly is sealed here?
Sealed. Many things. What are you looking for?
The
And what
unit
is
where it's
here anyway? Relatively, or like some
in this
relatively?
entire complex. The
Many things.
entire
Once again.
okay.
Are you looking for something particular?
Well, do I have the Beat Knights book on me?
No, he didn't lend you the legendary book. No.
Okay. Well, there was this book that has.
Ooh, I like books.
Yes, I love books too. There was this legend that came up. It writes legends right before they occur,
Mhm.
and it said that there was something, quote, dangerous sealed here by the 12 kings.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's true. Not here, but above the kings, yes. Mhm.
Okay. How exact is that dangerous for the world or dangerous just for the kings?
Well, the kings are kind of in suspended animation right now, so technically the world, but it could be dangerous to the kings. One at a time.
Okay. Could it be used for good?
Good's relative, but I suppose so, depending on your viewpoint.
Eh. Is there anything specific you can tell me that would be able to help us through this complex?
Not necessarily. That's all going to be figurative because I can't control your actions, but I'll tell you more about yourself. That might help you as a person.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, have you decided to call yourself the Seeker yet?
No.
No, not yet. Okay, no, don't worry about it. Well, the low down. You're, just go by Elric now. You're Elric Vulpershroud, son of Slygar Foretail and Levine Windbane. You used to be a member of the Beastkin tribes, but you left due to some sort of misunderstanding or dispute, I'm guessing. You're now kind of running around right now with one of those things who calls themselves the Victors, these greedy little merchant people who try to make a living off of other people's, well, unfortunateness, we'll say. But more importantly, you've got to figure out what you're going to do, where you're going, and more importantly, what you're going to do with that child. Is that child going to be your baggage? Is that child going to fetch a hefty price in the near future? Is that child going to meet its fate in the dungeon? That's the most important pressing matter at the moment.
That sparks one final question.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about the child?
Oh, her name is Isasu. She's a spawn of Kamatophony, the Crimson Mistress. But currently she's lost and separated from her, well, mother. And possesses a few abilities here and there, not the most powerful. But is that doing it for you?
Yeah, that's actually doing it quite well. And I'm just trying to return her to her mother.
I see a 50-50 chance.
Okay. Would it be bad to do that, considering her,
Bad for who?
well, obviously not the child, but for, was she sealed away for a reason?
You see the dazzling display of the mosaics form back into original position. They've all stopped moving. As you
Oh.
hear a clatter on the ground behind you. Sorry! Sorry! Fate Phantom is putting a gemstone back into place.
I doubt that worked.
He messed it up, the child says.
Yeah, but you were a good girl and you listened.
Yay.
We actually got a lot of information, including your name.
She will give that horrible demonly groan again.
Yes, but we actually got the translation for it, so I can actually call you by name.
Blink, blink.
I can't make that sound.
She will try. She will begin to try and utter it slower.
What was her name again?
Isasu is what you heard.
Isasu. See, now that I got my notebook here, I can...
I didn't mean it!
It's fine. Isasu. Note, Demon Child. I'm going to need a recap of all this information when this particular session is over.
Fair.
And now I know who your mother is. And the voice said that we have a 50-50 shot of actually getting you home, which is good. That's better than nothing.
Blink, blink.
Have you ever flipped a coin before?
I didn't mean it! You just hear Great Phantom like whisper in your ear.
I put my hand on top of the crate and close it and latch it closed for a moment.
He'll sit down.
Yeah. Have you ever flipped a coin before?
She'll nod.
You know how sometimes it goes to one side and sometimes it's the other?
She'll nod again.
That is our chance of getting you home.
Okay.
Which is good. Thumbs up.
She'll give a semi-confused thumbs up back. Like you're not sure she knows what it means.
Yeah, probably not. And I've got information about the kings as I turn to the Great Phantom and unlatch it.
I didn't mean to.
I understand, it's fine. We got a lot of good information already. Also, we need to get out of this room because the voice said that between those two doors something's going to come out of them. So we need to vacate swiftly.
Great Phantom's gonna suggest this direction.
Sure. We open the door.
Right. You're met with the immediate smell of old books. That wonderful smell.
Oh, lovely.
Boop. It appears to be a study. Books, papers. It's a mess. There's a large bookshelves lining the walls. There are books open about the floor and piles of papers. Another pulley system in this room with another brass cage hanging from the ceiling. A large chair set up with several books in front of a large fireplace as well. And one of the large pylons floating about the room. Several scrawls on the floor.
Alright. I'm going to presume if I see the use the spyglass here, it's just going to be someone studying. So, what type of books do we have?
There are books of all kinds. They appear to be of what you would expect, whatever ancient times these kings existed. The way they are bound, they look very ancient, scroll-like even. No actual scrolls, but actual bound books. We're talking like actual classic parchment, not like the new refound leather books. We're talking hide books.
Excellent.
Legit stuff. A few of them that are scattered about your feet appear to be of diagrams and uh, magical things, scriptures, passages.
What type of anything on magic?
Mm, where are you looking?
I want to go to the big pile of books.
Okay. There is one book in particular on top of the pile that uh, appears to have a diagram similar to the summoning circle behind you. That was in the room behind you, excuse me.
I would like to take that book.
Do you just close it up and store it?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. As you close it, you notice a particular uh, kind of mosaic-y pattern on the front cover.
Cool. I'm going to presume it's like the mosaic in the previous room.
Great Phantom's going to look around, but you can tell from his body language he's doing the, hands in pocket. He's doing his best to look, not touch.
Great Phantom, these are just books. I believe it's safe to touch. Let me know if you find anything interesting.
I'll nod.
What all other books are there? I'm looking for loot of books. Book loot.
Book loot. Okay, just roll an investigation real quick.
I got a... Do I have investigation? I do not have investigation, so I've got flat 13.
Okay, you're pretty sure there's got to be something of importance in like a spell casting book or something in this pile. Let's see. Go ahead and roll 1d10.
1d10. That's a 12. That's a 10.
Percentile dice.
Do you want me to roll the percentile too, or just the?
No, just
D10?
a d10.
I mean, you heard. I got a 3.
All right. You find 3 books that appear to be of like ancient spellcasting books or wizardry books.
I stow them for later.
How-to magic books.
Yay! Because illusory magic has not been actually helping me very much, so I need to branch out. And I've got the wisdom for it, so. Alright, so 3 magic books. Put a star on that inventory list so I look at them later. Or ask between sessions. Alright. So I've exhausted that pile. What have my compatriots found?
They haven't brought your attention to anything. They're kind of looking about what, unless they're hiding something from you. The Great Phantom hasn't found anything. You notice the child is not actively looking through the books. You think she's just going through the motions. She's not.
Looking for pictures.
Probably so.
Alright, so let's take a look at the chair area. What were being read last?
These, there are about 3 or 4 books kind of about your feet, all opened and kind of bookmarked, which all appear to have scriptures and just lines of text. There is a scrawl on the floor that references to the CMRA, the spyglass, the camera.
Mm-hmm. Right. So these are all probably information regarding building it or something.
Yeah, metagaming, it would probably look like textbook manuals. Mm-hmm.
I'm half tempted to pick them up too, but just because personally I love textbooks. But I guess I'll leave them. So we have 2 doors.
There's a door and an archway.
Let's head through the archway, because the door from the overall map looks like it just leads back to a room that something was going to come out of. So I signal everybody and say, "Why don't we get going?
As
You
soon
guys look
as you
bored.
say that, from your vantage point, you can easily see a corpse in the next room.
Why don't you guys stay here while I investigate this next room?"
The Great Phantom's going to kind of come over here, but make sure he's not too far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you immediately see a quite picked clean skeleton almost at the edge of the archway in such fashion of that.
All right. I'm gonna head in.
Alright. You, as the room is all equally well lit, you keep your distance as you notice that there's quite a few more bodies, and more importantly, the ground is crawling.
The ground is crawling.
There are plenty of minuscule monstrous centipedes crawling about the floors, feasting on these corpses. Looks like babby versions of the one you found in the throne room.
Oh, that's not too much of a problem.
There's another grandiose pulley system along the ceiling. There's
Mm-hmm.
a single door and a door to the north up here. You notice there's something in this pulley system here. Something golden shiny.
Ooh. Uh, would it be possible to try and from this door get the cage over to me using the police system?
There's a single. You can tell there's a single chain, kind of almost out of arm's reach, hanging from the brass cage itself. But there's no like active chains on the pulleys on above your head. The pulley system I'm referencing is tracks led up in the ceiling, like you would be able to pull the
Tracks.
cages along. It's not an
Okay,
actual
okay.
like conveyor belt system.
Okay. So a track system.
Yes, but I'm referencing the pulley system. Forgive me.
Right. Okay, so I would like to cautiously step over bodies and not spook the centipedes and get to the center cage.
Alright, I'm not even going to have you roll to step over it. You step over it. You notice a few of them have taken notice of you, but they aren't, like, willingly going to attack you.
I'm still moving. I'm still alive. I'm not a good meal.
They kind of
I can fight back.
move out of your way a little bit. But they are certainly, cautious of your situation.
Kind of like bugs do.
Mhm.
So, cage.
Cage, it is just above your head. You believe a good, proper jump, you can grab the cage and or the chain.
I would like to do the jump.
Okay? What do you
Do
want to
you
try
need
and
me?
grab?
The cage. It's lower down.
Okay? Let's see. Do me a favor. And I do need to make, you need to make a roll. What do I need to make you have? Just roll me a performance roll real quick.
Hey! Perfect! I've actually got skill points in that. So a 13.
Perfect. Okay, you easily grab the brass cage and kind of pull it down a little bit, so where you'd be able to kind of see inside it. The chain is now out of reach, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You notice inside of this brass cage are two very ornate-looking golden gauntlets, gloves even.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same shine as the room's itself, but these look very particular.
Can I get them out of the cage?
Oh yes, the cage is not.
Well,
The slots in
before
the cage are quite open. I mean, you can easily slip anything in out of this cage. It doesn't look like a bird's cage.
before that, I want to actually roll a perception because I just had a little red flag in my head go up.
Okay, go ahead.
Just something says I need to investigate these first.
Sure.
And that is 7 plus 5 is 12.
Okay, they appear to be just regular golden gauntlets.
Okay.
There's no gemstones or anything imbued on them.
Okay.
Uh, there's no aura, no magic given off of these as well.
Okay.
They just appear to be very fancy gloves,
Then
gauntlets.
I collect them.
All right, a little bit heavier than you expected, but they are the golden gauntlets.
Awesome. All right.